In Death on Cozumel Island, you write, I felt the irresistible itch to travel and live in new places. This clearly comes through in the books as each one is set in a different locale, a different place where Claire can go scuba diving. Do you do personal research before writing each book so that you can describe what the scuba diving or the fish is like in each of those places? And where would be a fantasy location that you would want to go do the research so you could write about it in a book?
Yeah. The first book, Death in Cozumel Island, was inspired by a family scuba diving vacation to Cozumel. And so I'm very familiar with the island and scuba diving and the different dive sites. I probably went into much details underwater. But it's such a beautiful scene. So I try to do a lot of research in the books that I've used. I lived in Monterey Bay, where the second book was located. I was stationed there when I was in the Navy, going to postgraduate school there. And then the third book, South Beach, I didn't live there, but I did a vacation research vacation there with my husband. That location was based on what my international students told me when I was teaching at the University of Arkansas. They said that South Beach, Miami was the most international city in the US. And I'm like, well, what about New York or LA? And they're like, no, South Beach is really international. And when I went and visited there, it was true what they said. Walking along the boardwalk there, I must have heard like 10, 11 different foreign languages. It was great.
Yeah. And the scuba diving was good?
I did not scuba dive there in South
Okay.
Beach, but I did scuba dive on the other side, in the Gulf, in Pensacola, not Pensacola, Tampa, Clearwater area. So
Okay.
the water visibility is a little bit different, but the fishes are the same. So I kind of use that. And then the Coast Guard aspect of it, that I kind of put in the third book is based on the fact that there is a Coast Guard station right there.
Right.
So I try to use real places, but in a made up way.
Mhm.
And then, of course, the characters are all fictional.
Right, of course. And then what would be your fantasy location? Where do you need to go do research so you can
Oh
write
my
about
goodness. Well, the fourth book is set in Arkansas. It's a lake freshwater diving. And I live here and I've done that lake multiple times. But the fifth book, I'm thinking of Roatan, and that is in Honduras. And so that's kind of the next book coming up. And my husband and I, we're going to go there at the end of this month on a scuba diving vacation trip. So
on your
that will be
research.
our exactly. I'm not at the point where I can write these trips off yet. My husband keeps telling me I have to make money to write it off.
Right.
I'm like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yes, it's an expense and you can only deduct it if you make money."
Right.
But, um, but that is a place that I think has a really good storyline, and I've kind of done some research around the water, the areas, and we're gonna actually go underwater so I can do more descriptions about what it's like to dive in, the Caribbean in that part of the world.
Great.